Hey, what's up everyone? This here is my old gaming computer. It's a bit old and outdated. We need to fix that. So this is what I'm upgrading from. It's currently in this very dirty Antec 900 case. And the cable management is a mess because this case doesn't have any space behind the motherboard to route cables, so they all have to go up front. So the motherboard is an X58 based Intel with a Core i7 950. That is first gen i7. I have a GTX 760 for my graphics card. I have a Samsung Evo 500 gig as a boot drive. God, this thing's dusty. And I also have been using this 970 Evo NVMe drive on this adapter. The reason why I don't boot from this is because this board is too old to boot from NVMe, so I have to have this as my boot drive, and then all my games and stuff are on here. It's got a couple of fans in the front, which are just these old Molex connectors. Fan on the back, fan on the top. This is a Noctua NHD 14 cooler. An Antec 1000 watt power supply. Don't really need 1000 watts. It's totally not modular, so it's got a bunch of extra cables that are bundled in there that this case has no place to put. Basically it. The only thing I'm going to reuse my 970 Evo. It's 1 terabyte. I'm going to put this in the new build. For RAM, I had this Corsair Dominator kit, DDR3 1600 megahertz. I originally had 3 of these, 4 gig, for 12 gigabytes total. Unfortunately, at one point, one of these went bad, so I only have 8 now. I think I originally built this in like 2011. I think at the time I had a GTX 460 graphics card. And then the graphics card and the storage is the only thing I upgraded out since then, until now. For our CPU, we have a Core i5 9600KF. And our motherboard is an ASUS TUF Z390 Pro Gaming. And here we have the motherboard. Some screws for M.2 drives. I/O shield. This is the Q connector, SLI bridge, a couple of SATA cables. CD, coupon for cable mod cables, some stickers, user guide, certificate of reliability. I'm going to need that, Okay, unboxing the CPU. Okay, let's get our test bench. I need to remove one of these. And this one here too. Okay, before I screw that on, I need the cooler. So we got this Noctua NH-U9S. Since I'm putting this in the rack mount case, I need something that's short enough to fit. Accessories. Okay, so we got instructions for AMD, OGA 20XX, and OGA 11.5X. I need to find out which pieces I need. So I need back plate, these two pieces, I need some of these pieces, I don't know which ones. I'm going to guess this is part of the AMD stuff, and this is the Intel stuff. There's 4, and these 4. Extra fan clips, thermal paste, low noise detector. I won't be using that. And it comes with a screwdriver. Okay, so we're going to put this way. So I need these to go that way. Since I got the back plate on for the cooler, I can now attach it to the test bench. applying thermal paste. For one drop, about 45 millimeters. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, since I don't think one fan for this is going to be enough, I've got a second one. Let's put it on the right way. Okay, for RAM, we got some Crucial Ballistix Elite. This is DDR 4000, 4 times 8 gigabytes. Okay, for storage, I'm going to use this Samsung 970 EVO 1 terabyte that I'm reusing from my old system. This board has 2 M.2 slots. There's one over here, and this one under this heatsink. I'm going to use the one with the heatsink. For power supply, I'm going to be using this Fractal Design Ion SFX 650 watt. Now my test bench doesn't have anything to attach a power supply. For now, I'm just going to sit it on the side. It is fully modular, so I can just attach just the cables I need. so I can keep clutter down. That's going to be all the cables that I'm going to have inside, because I'm not going to have any SATA drives. And finally, we have a graphics card, RTX 2070 Super. This is the EVGA XC Ultra. Okay, everything's plugged in. Power, mouse, keyboard, HDMI. All my power supply cables are in. $9600 KF, 2.7 gigahertz. Okay, after testing, making sure everything works, played some games, ran some benchmarks. I'm confident everything is working good. Now we can put it in the case. So this is the RPC 431 from Norco. And I have the RL20 rail kit. So here's the front of the case. The front is all mesh across the front. We have power reset switches, activity LEDs, a USB 2 port, and one USB 3 port. And on the back, regular ATX power supply, two 80mm fans, and a full-size ATX layout with 7 slots, expansion slots. On the inside, we have space for 9 3.5-inch drives, and then there's one 2.5-inch drive mount underneath here. I'll show you that when I open this. It also comes with two 120mm fans in the front. To access the drives, there's 3 screws on each side. And then this here pivots up so you can access the drives inside. And here's the 2.5-inch drive mount. For my use, I'm not going to have any of these drives, so I'm going to take this whole thing out. I've read online you have to drill out these rivets that hold these pieces in. I also want to take the front piece off because ultimately I want to put in 3 140mm fans across the front. So I need to figure out how to attach those. Okay, take the front off. It was just 1 screw here on each side and 4 screws across the bottom. Then we can look at the drive cage. Trying to figure out how this thing pivots. Oh, that's easy enough. Just has these little 2 things on the side to go into these holes. You don't have to drill out the rivets. So here's the front with the 2 included 120mm fans. And I have these Noctua Industrial NFA14 3000 RPM fans. So 3 of them should fit across just fine. That'll fit nice. I can almost just run a zip tie through here and zip tie them through these holes. Something like that. That's like too easy. There we go. 340mm fans. They're just zip tied on there. 4 zip ties. There we go. Case is done modded. No drilling or cutting required. For the back are 2 80mm fans. Time for the I/O shield. Okay, power supply came with this bracket to adapt the SFX to ATX. So, probably the main question people are going to have is, how loud is this? I've been running it for a while. It's honestly not that loud. But I've got a decibel meter here on my phone. You can see right now it's about 40. Just a couple, that's about 6 inches in front of it. It's about 40. It'll be initially loud when we first turn it on, but it'll quiet down really quickly. So it went up to about 74. It's about 50 normally. At idle. So I've been running folding at home, which is using all of the CPU and all of the GPU at once. So that's about as loud as the fans get. About 70 to 71. So here's our temps while folding at home is running. So the hottest core there is 74 degrees on the CPU. You can see the utilization. It's fluctuating, sometimes hitting 100. Mostly around 90. And if we go to the GPU, so the hottest that's gotten is 66C. And again, our utilization is 100%. So there you have it. My new gaming PC in a rack mount case. Where am I going to put this thing?